Szeged University Philosophy Department. Please.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Did you copy your paper? Yes. Presentation? Okay. So, do you need a microphone? Yes, please.
Okay.
Keep it very close to your mouth.
Just at first I try to which it's not.
That's not it. Perhaps you open a different one. What is the name of it?
This is the
You get this.
This one?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I have 5 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. So I changed my title in my lecture. Is there any ethical dimension of the low fertility rate? The question is, which I look for the answer. And you can see my outline applied. And sorry, I have almost 50 slides, so I will run. Okay, so applied ethics, classical ethical concepts, demographical concepts, causes of low fertility rate, effects of low fertility rate, and the end ethical consideration about the low fertility rate. The first two parts of my lecture is a normative part review. The next three is an empirical review, and the last is a normative again. And unlike Hume, I try to derive ought from is. So I reject the concept of naturalistic fallacy, just like, for example, Hans Jonas. Okay, the main position in the world is constantly changing, and morality should also be changing simultaneously. Applied ethics could help moral evaluation of new technology, customs, or social phenomenon. For example, cruelty to animals is not morally acceptable today, but it was in the past. Such a new problem is underpopulation. That is a characteristic number of countries in the developed world, such as Germany, Romania, Hungary, Japan, South Korea, or Singapore. Applied ethics, what happens? Okay, the first underpopulation articles, you can see the keywords: aging population, pension system collapse, and we can read about the concept of underpopulation bomb. This concept is connected to a book called The Population Bomb by Paul Ehrlich, 1968. The concept of underpopulation bomb suggests that this process is bad and demolishing, therefore it is unacceptable by morality. So the empirical question is, can we use this term correctly or not? Firstly, I reviewed the three ethical and ideological concepts about the human reproduction, religious Malthusianism, and the reproductive rights. Okay, religion generally encourages people to have more children. For example, according to Christianity, God's command: be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and conquer it. This command fits well with all the conditions: high infant mortality, low population density, ecological abundance. Therefore, sexual relationship is only possible in marriage. The purpose of sex is reproduction, and conception is prohibited. It is an absolute ethical command to be followed in each case, no matter the circumstances, carrying capacity, infant mortality rates, population density. Malthus argued that the population tends to increase faster than food supply. You can see the sketch of the Malthusian theory. The population increase in geometrical or exponential exponential way, and the food supply increase in arithmetical or linear way. This is really the result imbalance, and this process corrected by preventive checks, for example, moral restraint, or positive checks, says Malthus, for example, misery, war, and so on. Moral restraint, what does it mean by Malthus? Late marriage, sexual abstinence, and have a criminal punishment for those who have more children than they support. The Malthusianism, Neo-Malthusianism is the key word. Neo-Malthusianism encourages people not to have more children. It is an absolute ethical command also, to be followed in each case, no matter the circumstances. Reproductive rights. The United Nations Conference on Human Rights at Tehran recognized the family planning as a basic human right. The text says parents have a basic human right to determine freely and responsibly the number and the spacing of their children. And later the Bucharest Conference stands for this text. All couples and individuals have the basic human right to decide freely and responsibly, and so on and so on. So that's the same. The World Health Organization's definition says similarly, couples and individuals to decide freely and responsibly, etc. So it is an important question what we mean by determine responsibility or decide responsibly in these statements. Two interpretations are possible, narrow or a liberal interpretation and a wide and a communitarian interpretation. The narrow interpretation says that since the responsibility of parents is connected to family planning only for the child to be born and raised, family planning has nothing to do with the community and society. So family planning is a private and morally neutral decision like having a pet. And the wide interpretation says that family planning has a social aspect as well. This means that couples and individuals should concept reproductive position of the community. Such concepts as overpopulation and underpopulation refer to this position. So family planning is not only a private decision. Okay, the next part, the third part, I deal with some scientific, demographic, and scientific concepts and facts. The components of change of the total population are births, deaths, and migrations. Birth rate and immigration increase the size of population, and while the deaths and rate and emigrate decrease the size of population. The right side of the picture shows the natural change, and the left side and the right side the migration. Okay, we just focus on the birth and death problem and suppose that there is no migration. Ceteris paribus, we suppose this. Okay, so the human population can grow, decline, or remain fairly stable. So population change is equal to birth plus immigration minus death plus emigration. One of its main parameters is total fertility rate. Total fertility rate shows the expected number of children born per woman in her childbearing years. Connected concepts are the high fertility rate, the replacement level fertility means that 2.1 children per woman, sub-replacement fertility, and the very low fertility rate means the fertility rate smaller than 1.3 children per woman. You can see the fertility in the 10 largest countries. You can see that very big differences between the fertilities. For example, Brazil is a sub-replacement fertility, USA and Bangladesh is very interesting that Bangladesh is just the replacement rate, but Nigeria, the fertility rate is very high, higher than 5, statistical average 5 children per woman, and Japan and Russia is very low. And this picture shows there is a strong correlation between the number of births and total fertility rates. Sorry, I have no time to explain this picture. And similarly, you can see the total fertility rate, the number of births, and if the birth rate remains at 1.19 children per woman, South Korea could face natural extinction by 2750. The fertility rate currently is 2.5 children per woman regarding the whole mankind. It means that the expected population will be 9.4 billion in 2050. That is a 1.3 times increase. However, this fertility rate average shows significant regional differences. The fertility rate on the continents and the expected population growth can be listed in a decreasing order. It's one of the extreme position shows Africa, where is the 4.7 children per woman. It is very high fertility rate, and the other extremity, Europe, the situation in Europe, 1.6 children per woman. Okay, and this map shows that the blue color shows 1 and 2 children, green color 2 and 3, and the other colors shows the higher children per woman ratio. So this data show that Africa is still in the period of fast population growth. This is the primary reason of the population growth of the entire mankind. According to the fertility rate, Europe and East Asia are in serious demographical crisis. It's a natural decrease. And this map shows that the Europe countries, for example, Romania 1.25, Poland, for example, 1.30. So this is a dark brown colors. This is the fertility rate is not, it's very low. But France is satisfactory, and England it is almost ideal. Okay, the next part I deal with the causes and the effects of the sub-replacement fertility. There have been a number of explanations for the general decline in fertility rates. The true explanation is almost certainly a combination of different factors. I make a distinction between the general causes and individual causes. General causing, for example, the rising cost of raising children, changing of female social role, working women, later and fewer marriages, pension system, wide use of contraception, secularization, liberalization, and maybe reducing fertility because of environmental pollution. And individual causes: birth control, partnership instability, freedom and individualism, economic benefits of childless life, consumerism, career benefits of the childless life, free riding, infertility. And some picture about this topic. I'm not childless, I'm child-free. Okay, and this picture shows that the raising cost of children, or the second picture shows the difference between the child-free couple and the family couple, family life. Okay, effects of sub-replacement fertility. If the low fertility trend is sustained, it results in higher taxes, population aging and population decline. Okay, effects of low fertility in Singapore. The low fertility affect the workforce, the taxes, the family, the defense, so every part of the social. Aging is very serious problem. The aging, the 4-to-1 family model, 4 grandparents, 2 parents, 1 child, it means that the total fertility rate is 1.0. It means the exponential shrinking population, and it is a result the ratio of workers to pensioners is changing, is very disadvantageous way. Okay, the next. Okay, so I concentrate the ethical aspect of this problem. First step, I examine the ethical dimension of collective action and social dilemma. For example, Mancur Olson said, unless the number of individuals in a group is quite small, or unless there is coercion or some other special device to make individuals act in their common interest, rational self-interested individuals will not act to achieve their common or group interest. Or social dilemmas. Social dilemmas means a situation in which individual rationality leads to collective irrationality. For example, this picture says just follow the arrow. But which arrow? The small arrows which show the right side, or the big arrows which show the left side. Types of social dilemmas: two-person, n-person, prisoner's dilemma, chicken game, public good games, common dilemma, etc. The public good games, so the cooperators, this is the scheme of the public good situation. We can make a differences between the cooperators and the free riders. The cooperators' contribution to the common public good, a free riders not, but everybody share the benefits of the public goods. So the individual rationality leads to collective irrationality, because the individual rationality that don't contribute to the public goods. So the free riders behave rationally but immorally way. Or in the other picture, the free rider problem occurs when those who benefit from resources, goods or services don't pay for them, which result in under provision of these goods or services. There's the free riders, the white people on the teamwork. Okay, you can see this picture, but I take long. So it's in the left side, you can see the individual irrationality, collective rationality, common good or public interest. And the opposite side, the individual rationality, collective irrationality, common bad or greatest behavior. In this situation, there is a big differences between the morality and the rationality. If you follow the big arrow, you behave moral but irrational way, and if you follow the small arrows, you behave rational but immoral way. So free riders behave rationally but immorally. And applying collective action and the free rider action to the low fertility, the childless are considered to be free riders in European and East Asian countries with sub-replacement fertility level. This influences the well-being of members of the society and the society itself in a negative way. Therefore, the responsible decision-making connected to family planning should take into consideration and contribute to public interest. So, the public good games applying for the situation, the cooperators in the situation means that at least two kids per person, or a free riders who has less than 2 children per person, and the common public good, it means the replacement fertility or a stable population. Okay, the summary of my moral argumentation. First, empirical justified moral statement. The low total fertility rate is morally wrong. Wrong because the low total fertility rate results aging, declining and collapsing of the community. That is a collective bad, summum malum, greatest evil. The factual statement, there is a strong relationship between the individual and total or collective fertility rate, because each individual fertility rate contributes to total collective fertility rate. And the first moral conclusion is that the conscious low individual fertility is morally wrong in a community where the total fertility rate is low. For example, Germany, Romania, Hungary, Japan, South Korea, etc. I have further conclusions. The low fertility is morally neutral behavior in a country where the total fertility rate is satisfactory, for example, USA, Great Britain, France. Moreover, the conscious low individual fertility is a moral but rare behavior in a country where the total fertility rate is too high, for example, Nigeria, Niger, Somalia. So the conscious, responsible and moral decision about the individual fertility always take into consideration the private and communitarian circumstances. Just one slide. So low fertility rate as one of social dilemma needs a new ethics, politics and psychologies. Different countries and regions face different demographical problems, so the solution should also be different. Ethics alone, of course, cannot solve the low fertility rate, but it can contribute to raising awareness of the problem. And conclusion, following answer can be given in the question of title. The ethical judgment of the low individual fertility depends on the demographic position of the community. Okay, I don't want to repeat it. There is a three kind of situation. Yes, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, please keep them for the end of our session. Our next presentation comes from